Welcome to the BISP solutions. So our today's scenario is fair value adjustment in statement of financial position. What does fair value mean? In accounting, fair value is a reference to the estimated net worth of a company's assets and liabilities that are listed on a company's financial statement. Fair value basically means the price received to sell an asset or paid to transfer a liability. Fair value adjustment. It represents the amount required to adjust the relevant item from their current carrying value in the statement of financial position to their identified fair value. Okay, fair value adjustment is done when there is a difference between the market value of an asset and the current book value of the asset. Then we make adjustment to bring the asset value at the market value. Okay, fair value, it is usually used in consolidation when a subsidiary company's financial statements are combined or consolidated with the parent company. Parent company buys an interest in the subsidiary, and subsidiary assets and liabilities are presented at the fair market value for each account. Okay, basically, fair value adjustment is a type of accounting process that makes it possible to reassess the fair value when there is a considerable difference between the figure and the current book value of the asset. That means when there is a difference between the book value and the market value, so we make a difference and we make the adjustment accordingly and bring the book value of the subsidiary company at the fair market value. Okay, now, what is the difference between the book value and the fair value? Book value means the value of the asset based on the asset's initial cost minus any related depreciation, amortization, or impairment cost. Okay. And the fair value is the reasonable and impartial estimate of the intrinsic value, means the net worth of that asset in the market is the fair value. Now, how we do the adjustment in P&L account? We subtract the book value of the security from the fair market value. That means carrying value which we are seeing in the balance sheet and the fair value which is available of that asset. We'll subtract both, and if the fair market value exceeds the book value, then the difference would be the gain in the value. So the gain will be adjusted, treated in the profit and loss account. It will be added gain, and if there is a loss, vice versa, then it will be subtracted from the P&L account. Now, how to include the fair value in the consolidation workings? Adjust both the column of the net asset working to bring the net asset to the fair value at the acquisition and reporting date. Okay, first we'll adjust the net assets, and now then we'll ensure that the fair value of net asset is carried through to the goodwill and non-controlling interest. That means we'll adjust the net asset in the balance sheet, and we'll see that the fair value is through carried properly to the goodwill and non-controlling interest, because when we are doing the goodwill calculation, we always do investment less net asset acquired, so we have to adjust there also. Okay, the fair value adjustment has to be done in the goodwill calculation as well as in the non-controlling interest. Okay, at the reporting date, make the adjustment on the face of the statement of financial position when adding across the assets and liabilities. That means when we are consolidating at that time also, we'll make the adjustment of assets and liabilities. We'll take the asset at the fair value itself. At the acquisition, we are going here through equity way, so that's why we are taking share capital plus retained earnings, and we'll add here the fair value adjustments. Okay, at the acquisition and at the reporting date both. Now let's see one example. The date of the acquisition is 1st July 2017. Equipment cost is 2,10,000. We less that accumulated depreciation 80,000. Okay, cost is given 2 lakh 10, accumulated depreciation is 80,000, so the carrying value will be 2 lakh 10,000 minus 80,000, that is 1 lakh 30,000, and the fair value of that asset is 1 lakh 90,000. It means 60,000 has been increased, and tax rate is given 20%. So here the asset value should be increased by the 60,000. Okay, because we are showing in our books the value of, suppose, plant and machinery is 1 lakh 30, and in if we'll sell that asset or plant and machinery, we'll get 190. So why we are understating that asset? So we need to increase that asset. Okay, while we are preparing the consolidated balance sheet. So how we'll pass the entry? Accumulated depreciation, that is a depreciation is an expense, so it will be debited. Accumulated depreciation account debit, and due to this depreciation the value of the equipment get reduced, means asset get reduced, so asset will be credited, that is to equipment. So accumulated depreciation account debit to equipment account credit. Similarly, now we'll do the adjustment for fair value. Now here the asset from 2,10,000 has come to 1,30,000. Now we want to increase the value, means from 130 now we want to record the asset at 190. So how we will do that? We'll just add up the 60,000. So equipment account debit asset value will be increased. So that's why it is debited equipment account debit to fair value adjustment and to deferred tax liability. That the increase in the value will have a effect on the deferred tax, will have a effect on the tax liability. So we'll book that also. The tax rate is 20%, to 60,000 into 20% is 12,000. So deferred tax liability will be of 12,000, and the remaining balance 48,000 will be the fair value adjustment. Now you will ask what is the deferred tax liability? See, it's a tax which is assessed or is due for the current period but has not yet been paid. Okay, this deferral comes from the difference in timing between when the tax is accrued and when the tax is paid. Okay, so that is the deferred tax liability. Now we'll see this adjustment through Excel example. See, here's a big limited is the purchaser, small limited is the subsidiary. Balance sheet is given on 31st December 2020. Inventories, trade receivable, cash and bank, and equipments are given. And in liability side, share capital, retained earnings pre and post both are given, and trade payable is given. Okay, date of acquisition is 1st Jan 2020. We have purchased 70% shares. Fair value of the net asset of the subsidiary is 1 lakh at the time of acquisition. Okay, now it has, it means we have, when we are acquired on 1st January, the fair value was 1 lakh at the time of acquisition, but afterward it has increased to 1,20,000 on the date of the balance sheet. Okay, so depreciation is also given at the rate 10%. We are assuming that depreciation effect has not been taken here, so we'll do that also. First we'll calculate um, the fair value adjustment, that is, see, fair value at the time of acquisition was 1 lakh. At the balance sheet date the fair value got increased to 1,20,000. So 20,000, which is increased, is the increase in the goodwill value or fair value adjustment, we can say that. Okay, now we'll see the depreciation effect. Earlier equipment value was 14,000, depreciation is 10%. So 14,000 equipment, 10% depreciation, that is 14,000 into point 0.1, that is 1,400. So we'll reduce that because depreciation reduce the effect, the asset value. Okay, so equipment less depreciation will be 12,600. Okay, now we'll calculate the goodwill. See, investment is given of 1 lakh. Investment is 1 lakh less share capital, that is share capital 50,000. 50,000, we have acquired 70%. So 50,000 into 70% will be our holding percentage. So 50,000 into 70%, so 35,000. And similarly pre-profit 24,000. 24,000 into 70% will be our share in that profit, so we'll reduce that also. That means investment less net asset acquired. Okay, so our goodwill will be 48,200. 48,200. Now this 20,000 has been increased, so we'll increase here also. As we have seen, this here we are taking the net asset effect. So the value of the net asset has been increased by 20,000. So similarly we have to take the adjustment here also. So goodwill will also get increased. 28,200, 48,200 plus 20,000 comes to 68,200. Okay, simultaneously we'll see the see, 68,200 will come here. 68,200 goodwill, 68,200. Now we'll calculate the retained earnings consolidated at the year end. Retained earnings of the parent is 50,000. See, retained earnings of the parent is 50,000. We have got the share in profit. See, 10,000 into 70%, so it comes to 7,000. It's a, we'll get the profit, share in the profit of the subsidiary. Okay, post profit, add increase in goodwill value because it also increase the good. See, the asset value has increased, so it will give the effect in net asset also, and when the value got increased means the difference amount fair value is more than the book value, so this also increase our profit. So we have given the effect in the retained earnings because profit is consolidated here only. Okay, and we'll reduce the depreciation. I'm so sorry. We'll reduce the depreciation because depreciation effect also comes, depreciation is an expense, so our profit get reduced by that, it comes in the P&L. Okay, so we'll minus this depreciation, so ultimately we have come to total retained earnings, consolidated retained earnings 75,600. We have written here 75,600, working out number 4. Now we'll calculate the minority interest. See, share capital 50,000, 30%, 70% is holding company shares, so minority is 30%. 50,000 into 30% comes to 15,000. Similarly here, pre-profit share in the pre-profit 24,000 into 30%, 7,200, and 10,000 into 30%, that is a share in the post-profit, comes to 3,000. So total is 25,200. So minority interest 25,200. Now we'll just add all these elements, that is 50 plus 30 comes to 80, 30 plus 20 comes to 50,000, 40 plus 36 is 76. Just a moment. Okay, 20,000 plus 14,000 comes to 32,600. No, we can't add these 14,000. Did you realize why? Because here depreciation effect has not been taken. So now we'll add, that is 20,000 plus the depreciation effect which we have taken, that is 14 minus 1400 is 12,600. We'll add this amount. So here comes to 32,600. Investment in subsidiary, we just ignore that in consolidated financial statement. Goodwill amount we have already calculated, 68,200. Okay, so total of the asset side come to 3,06,800. Similarly, in liability side, share capital of only holding company is taken, subsidiary company ignore. So we will take only 1,40,000. Retained earnings we have already calculated, 75,600. So here comes the 75,600. Non-controlling interest we have already calculated, that is 25,200. Here comes 25,200. And trade payables 50,000 plus 16,000 is 66,000. So total of the liability side it is 3,06,800, and asset side is also 3,06,800. So this is how the adjustment of the fair value adjustment is done. Thank you.